Okay, well, everyone, it's so exciting to be here today. For those of you that don't know, just 18 months ago, I had my first opportunity to come here to convene, where we announced our partnership between Vultr and AMD and announced that we were going to be the first NeoCloud partner to take to market the AMD MI300X. Since 18 months ago, here at Convene, we subsequently launched the MI325X as well as the 355X. And I'm super excited to announce today that we are finally sold out of over 25,000 AMD Instinct 355X, the largest global deployment of AMD GPUs on the planet. I'm also excited to announce today this cute little guy. This cute little guy is our mascot, Morty. Could be Mortimer or Morticia, however you want. And you know, Morty is an angry bird. And as an angry bird, Morty is angry at the high cost and complexity of cloud compute. And so here at Vultr, we are built by developers, for developers, to help you simply build and scale globally with maximum performance, maximum security, maximum compliance, and maximum cost efficiency. It's the core of our business. So who would actually like to have one of these cute little mascots here today? Now, of course, as you can tell, we're super friendly here at Vultr, and so is this mascot. Super fuzzy, super warm, great for throwing with your dog. I barely get them away from my golden doodle. If you have a golden doodle, they'll tear this thing apart very, very quickly, but it's super fun. I'm not going to be able to get all of you here today, but definitely come by our booth. And as you'll see, this is also you can use it for pickleball, by the way. And it doesn't make that horrible noise. So let me just tell you a little bit about Vultr, and we're going to get into the meat of conversation because we love developers. You probably never heard about us because we are literally geeks. We are built by developers, developers who never took a dime of outside capitals, developers who never hired anyone in sales, developers who never hired anyone in marketing until I knocked on a door in West Palm Beach and said, come on, let me help you guys. I know how to make plushies and give them cute names and make people love them. So Vultr is a very unique company, 14-year operating history. It is an alternative hyperscaler. It's a functional equivalent of Amazon, Google, or Azure. The functional equivalent, however, is not a closed one. It is an open one. We believe in an open ecosystem, an open composable cloud stack. We marshal an ecosystem of hundreds of partners so that you can build your own cloud stack with your own best-of-breed technology. We focus on core infrastructure as a service. You know, we don't build search. We don't build a vector database. You leverage Pineco. You leverage Milvish. You leverage Cochrane. You leverage best-of-breed partners that are all available in our marketplace. And by focusing on the needs of developers, the simplicity, the cost efficiency, the incredible performance, the incredible resiliency, through just word of mouth, we scaled globally. The largest privately held cloud compute company that you've never heard of, operating in over 33 global data center regions with over 300,000 customers, the largest deployer worldwide of cloud infrastructure to support AI. And as I just noted, also now today, very exciting, Carol Whitmarsh, who was with me here in Convene when we first launched our partnership, is super excited. The world's largest deployer of MI355X. And again, this global scalability is the heart of our conversation today, because today it is easier than ever to build and prototype new applications. The trick is, how do you move from something that you prototype on your desktop or on your own personal cloud account and actually make a robust enterprise system that can drive business results? Now, a lot of people talk about, well, you know, on the AI space, I get a lot of questions, are we being overbuilt? Is there room for, the Helios and gigawatts of capacity for Helios coming up, which of course we're planning on doing? And my answer is very simple, which is we're in a super cycle. And every single super cycle is roughly a 30-year time horizon. And we've been through super cycles in the past. Your original version of compute supercycle arguably began in 1963, ended with the client-server era, where a new compute cycle began with the dawn of the internet and the World Wide Web, when we had the Mosaic browser become available in 1993, and then we saw an arc of 7 epochs of that supercycle, starting from when people first started building websites to when you had the first application servers like Kiva, if you guys remember that, or Bluestone, if you remember that. People started building web applications, portals, then we went into mobile, we went into cloud, went to K8s, and then a lot of things around big data and IoT. So right now, here today, we're just at the start of another supercycle, and we're only at the beginning of the first epoch, where finally we can now build and scale agentic systems, systems that do real work. But in order to scale those systems and have them do real work, we need to think about how we deploy these things globally so they can function as a true enterprise system, not just as something that we prototype and deployed on our laptop. And with every single epoch, we're going to go through a standard Gartner hype cycle. And our epoch for getting to agentic systems really began way back when you first had your first LLMs, then multimodal, and then the peak of inflated expectations, a little bit about 18 months ago when we first launched here at Convene. Everyone was all excited about vector databases and RAG pipelines and how contextualized data from real-time feeds was going to change the way we could actually deliver meaningful results to people. But at the end of the day, people got stuck. And this is where enterprises are today. In that trough of disillusionment, we have all this power, we have all of these new reasoning models, and we can prototype all of these amazing things, like the applications that you just saw here on stage. But at the end of the day, deploying that in the actual enterprise and having it run globally, and having it run with maximum resiliency, with incredible performance, incredible cost efficiency, while doing so securely and compliant with all new and emerging regulations around data residency, data sovereignty, is very, very difficult. Or is it? Isn't this what we do here at Vultr? Don't we try to make the lives of developers easy? Don't we try to make everything so simple so you can just build and deploy? That's exactly what we're excited about being here at Convene today. Because in your traditional cloud-native world, in the IT department, you have your infrastructure and operations and cloud services teams. You have the people that specialize in server engineering and network engineering and storage engineering, cloud engineering and DevOps and data engineering. And all of those teams work really, really hard to enable a platform engineer to build that internal developer productivity platform for developers in the enterprise to be able to build and scale systems without actually having to reinvent the wheel or do something wrong. But we can change all of this because we are now in the post-OpenClaw moment. And in the post-OpenClaw moment, our goal here at Vultr is to take all of the knowledge out of our worldwide community of hundreds of thousands of developers and actually build the sets of skills for how to optimize the building of your servers, the outfitting of your network, the optimization of your data pipelines, so that you, as a developer, can simply log into Vultr, deploy OpenClaw on your account, and have access to an entire marketplace of pre-built skills, pre-built composable cloud stacks that are focused on delivering real-world enterprise use cases and real-world outcomes. At the end of the day, we want to enable you to not only prototype in your build environment, but we want you to be able to take that through to production test environment in our cloud, and most importantly, to actually deploy it globally and have it work. And have it work and deliver real results with driving the business without compromising the business. And what we want to enable developers to do is not just build cool things on their laptop, but build real enterprise systems that optimize operations, personalize customer experience, and enhance customer loyalty and retention, because that's what businesses need. And we're doing this with a full compute stack powered by AMD. Now, I mentioned earlier on the GPU side, but wait, there's more. Because we're a long-standing partner of AMD. We don't just do Instinct GPUs, though we do that too. we also specialize in AMD core cloud compute. Because in agentic systems, believe it or not, there's an explosion of demand for core CPU because they're the ones that are orchestrating the GPUs, they're orchestrating the pipelines, they're actually running your claws. And we are the only provider that gives you a coupled system of AMD core cloud compute, AMD core cloud GPU globally. So if you're building and deploying an agentic system, an agentic AI application, what we call an AI native application, the AMD full stack compute, all of your top-of-the-line AMD EPYC CPUs coupled with all of your top-of-the-line AMD Instinct GPUs is what we're going to enable your developers to access, to build and deploy, and have all of the complexity of the networking, all of the complexity of the server build, all of the complexity of the performance optimization should be all abstracted and all hidden from you because you're just leveraging a whole bunch of pre-built skills for your enterprise to basically make sure it runs in the best way possible. And I'm going to give you a real-world example of the types of applications that we're helping developers build. And when I say helping them build, we literally help them build. So we run hackathons all over the globe. So we're running about 250 hackathons this year alone. We just concluded our latest hackathon in Berlin just last week, where I just was. And our next hackathons are coming up here in Milan. And if you stay tuned at the very end, there's a very special announcement related to that hackathon and what comes next. So I just want to give you a little hint, so stay tuned. So in this example application, how do you build an application that actually transforms the customer experience? A lot of people build applications that are like my personal productivity application. They're checking my inbox, they're prioritizing my email, and that's kind of cool, right? That's like early day stuff, right? But how do you actually literally transform the business? And so I'm going to give you an example. I'm a Marriott Bonvoy member, and I travel all around the world, okay? So this is an example application that was built by one of our hackathon participants to transform the hotel guest experience to raise revenue per room. Real-world application came from our hackathon. And they didn't just build one application, they built 4. And each application was optimized for a different part of the customer journey when they were checking into a hotel and managing their account. And in the first particular case, and I'm sorry I don't have the actual video from the actual hackathon participant because that would have actually been fun to show, but I have my own stylized version of it. And the example application was, and I'll just use my personal example, you know, I'm here. I'm staying at the W Hotel, for those of you that care. And unfortunately, I did get in late last night, and because I had some sort of late connection. So the wonderful thing is, how can I actually transform the check-in experience so that the human agent at the check-in desk actually knows all of the details because my claw informed their claw that my flight was delayed, and then their agent, when I'm checking in, can literally say, Mr. Cochrane, I see you arrived late. Would you like me to order your usual hamburger and onion soup for dinner? We'll have it you sent up in 15 minutes. I'm super frustrated. I've missed my flight. I'm in here later. The answer is yes. I absolutely would love that hamburger. I absolutely would love that onion soup. I like hamburgers. I literally had the Wagyu hamburger at W last night. It was fantastic. Gave me a little bit of acid reflux, but nevertheless, it was worth it. Then I get to the hotel in-room experience, and when I get into the in-room experience, why can't I actually just get on the phone and talk to an agent and ask the agent for organizing my car service for a meeting that I need to take down in San Jose, and have the agent confirm that for me? And then wouldn't that be wonderful? Then have the agent actually recommend what I might want to order for breakfast the next day. And then, of course, when the actual guest services agent comes up to deliver my hamburger, wouldn't it be wonderful the human agent had a recommendation from their agent that said, Mr. Cochrane, here's your hamburger. I took the order. I took the liberty of bringing you your favorite glass of Chardonnay and an ice cream sundae. I thought you might like that. The answer is yes, I would like that glass of Chardonnay. I had 2. And I would like that ice cream. I didn't like the ice cream. It was not, it was a little cup. It was really weird. And the whole goal of this is I'm not just building a little prototype of a personal productivity agent. I've actually transformed the whole customer experience. I've transformed the whole customer journey. And then I'm actually doubling my room revenue per night if I'm the W Hotel? And yes, this was a real-world set of applications that someone built in one of our hackathons, which we're actually now introducing them to to Marriott, to basically say, this is the type of stuff that you should be able to accomplish and do. So, and more importantly, what was really cool about this particular example was the person built it in such a way that there was memory across multiple stays. So it was literally a prototype of how you could transform the actual customer loyalty system and the account management system in the Bonvoy app. Because of course, I'm not just here for AMD Dev Day. Like I said, we run hackathons all over the world. So I've got hackathons in Milan, I got hackathons coming up in Mumbai. Wouldn't it be wonderful if the next time I actually went into one of the hotels, they can pick up that experience and remember that I didn't just want one glass of Chardonnay, I wanted two. So what we're trying to do is when you're trying to build and scale these systems, you're a developer, you know how to code, and that's all you should know how to do. Standing up clusters, GPU clusters for training, GPU clusters for inference, it's hard, it's complex. So what we're doing is we're making it as easy as one click, where all of the configuration, it's all pre-built for you. It's called one simple API. We'll set up the cluster of any size. On your master node, we'll set up your Slurm. We'll set up your Grafana dashboards. We'll set up Prometheus, Loki. We'll set up all of your Ansible playbooks to make sure everything is configured appropriately according to the cluster. And we'll set up Puppet as well. It should be up there on the slide. So for ongoing configuration management, we'll keep it always up to date and in sync with all of your other server machines all around the world. You as a developer shouldn't have to figure this stuff out. We should just make it happen. We should make it super simple. Not just for standing up your GPU clusters, but again, you also have to do the same thing because you need to set up inference clusters. Some of you might start by calling a simple inference API from one of our Vultr customers. We happen to power most of the worldwide inference providers, whether you're talking about Together AI, Fireworks, Base 10, Clarify. So we're the back-end infrastructure for those people. But if you wanted to build your own inference API endpoint and deploy inference in India, in the UK, in Germany, particularly for reasons of data residency, because you're actually doing some RAG pipeline, you're actually leveraging data from Germany in your application, you're setting up localized inference clusters. And again, as a developer, you should just click deploy, and then the setup and the configuration and ongoing management of all those clusters should be completely hidden from you because you shouldn't worry about it. That's what we do. And then, of course, you want to just not only spin up your GPU clusters, but the CPU matters as well. Because to contextualize the visit for each experience, you need to set up and pre-configure all your data pipelines. You need to set up and configure all of your embedding services, all of your vector databases, and all the regions in which you're operating. And of course, it's all powered by your CPU cluster. And of course, don't forget, you still have an application experience. You still have all of your code artifacts that also need to be deployed globally. So again, what we're doing here with AMD, it's a full stack approach to composable infrastructure, API-driven, all automated with pre-built skills that you can just simply use, your OpenClaw instance to configure and set up and deploy everything. And when I say set up and deploy everything, that's also including all the really hard stuff that very few people do well. The complexity of the networking, the complexity of the security is a big challenge. So what we do here is help you do that global scalability, spinning up your CPU clusters, your GPU clusters, and all of your different availability zones, making sure that everything's secure in your VPC with peering across your different availability zones so all your internal IP addresses for all of your services are not exposed over the public internet. Provide all of the load balancing, all of the performance optimization, all of the back-end storage, all of the back-end direct connects between your local on-prem systems to feed all your real-time pipelines, and of course provide the resiliency so that if any one data center region is starting to flutter for whatever reason, you have automatic failover and spin up of services in another geographically near location so your customer experience is never impacted. This is what we do at Vultr better than anyone on the planet. And this is what we make so easy for you to do with a full stack of AMD compute. And moreover, for those of you that are leveraging services from other cloud providers, which we do not recommend, did I mention that we're 82% better performance per dollar than AWS and their custom silicon. For those of you that are thinking of Graviton 5, I'm just telling you, we'll save you between 50 and 90% off your core Amazon bill. Better performance than Graviton 5, much lower cost, all AMD EPYC. Don't even need to port your code. x86 still rules the world and always will. We also will set up automatically your hybrid multi-cloud architecture as well. So here at Vultr, we're super excited to partner with developers all around the planet, working to help build real-world enterprise use cases that can really transform businesses in vertical after vertical after vertical, and having these things packaged and available on our marketplace so you can learn from others as part of a community open development model to basically take best practices from other in your industry and use that as a starting point. And of course, make sure you have all the global security and compliance. You know, security and compliance just doesn't matter in the United States. Guess what? There's local laws in India, there's local laws in the UK, there's local laws in Australia. You have to be adherent to all of those as well. And it's super easy to get started. So all you need to do is go to docs.vultr.com, and you can learn how to instantly deploy not only our GPUs, but also a full stack approach with AMD Enterprise platform. And the most important part is we were going to set you up with a challenge, because I said it was all easy. And I said we want to open source and crowdsource all these great solutions. So here's your golden ticket. So for all of you today, come by our booth, get the plushie, get a $250 credit, spin up OpenClaw on Vultr, spin up all your cloud resources. You can also leverage your $250 credit from AMD Developer Day. You can get started with the Fireworks API, it's Vultr on the back end. And that's $500. And we're running a hackathon with all of you in this room. And first place winner gets the golden ticket and is coming with me and the Vultr team and the AMD team to Raise Summit in Paris, July 8th and 9th, and you're going to be presenting in our booth the winning ticket and your winning solution. There'll be prizes for first, second, and third place, cash prizes, cloud credits, but the key is the winning ticket. Who wants to go to Paris with me? Who wants to build something that changes your company and changes the world? Let's do it together. And I'll see you in Paris. We'll always have Paris. Thank you very much.